Hey, you there. Just wanted to let you know you are now listening to the AK Mindset Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, people? Daniel here from the AK Mindset, bringing you episode 30 of the podcast. And as usual, I'm with my guys, Rajel and Ed. Say hello to the people.
Yo, we're back again. There's a milestone. 30 episodes in, we're still going strong. Happy to be here with my boys, and it's going to be a fun one today. It's an interesting topic.
Yeah, what's good? Big 30. We're aging. We're aging gracefully, as they say. But yeah, like always, hope everybody's doing well, and we're here for another banger.
Yes, sir. And before I get into the nitty gritty, just to plug the socials, we're trying to get better at that. So we're on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, AK Mindset. On Instagram, the.ak_mindset. TikTok, I believe this is also AK Mindset. Obviously, YouTube, the AK Mindset, and Apple, all the other audio listening platforms, if you want to listen to us. So yeah, this episode we're talking about demographics, and because I feel like this is a topic which is normally talked about, but I feel misunderstood in the community, I thought I should test the guys on their knowledge of anime demographics and if they know what demographics an anime is. So without further ado, I have some questions for them.
Let's go.
So for round one, I have 5 shows, and before we need to decide the order. So I've got a number, which is in between 1 and 30. Now, Ed, I want you to give me a number, and then Rajel, you give me a number, and whoever's closest will go first.
Calm. I'm going to choose this number because I think it's close to your heart. Number 12.
Okay. Rajel?
And I'm going to pick number 8.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rajel. The number I was thinking of was 20. So, Ed, you go first.
Crazy.
Okay.
Lovely stuff.
So, you see the first series on the screen, Paradise Kiss. What demographic do you think this series is?
Paradise. I think it is shojo.
A shoujo, okay. Rajel, what demographic do you think Paradise Kiss is?
Let's see. I don't really want to go on the same kind of guess. I don't want to be faked out by the imagery that is in front of me. So I am gonna go Kodomo.
Kodomo?
Yeah, the little kids.
Oh, okay. Oh, Well, I am afraid you are both wrong. It is a josei.
It's a josei.
It's a josei.
I should have thought that was my second choice, but I went to shojo instead.
Okay, next series is up. Smile Down the Runway. Ed, we come back to you. And don't forget, if you need help, I have one line from the synopsis, although it might not help you.
I thought you were going to say call a friend or something. I thought we were doing that type of show, you know.
I want to go for shojo again.
Okay.
I'm going shojo again.
Okay. And before I go to Rajel, can you give me a reason why you think this is a shoujo series?
Yes. I don't. It reminds me a little bit of Act Age. I think that's the first thing I got from it. I don't know why, but it does. And I don't even know if Act Age was a shoujo, but I felt like it was. So I thought I'd go for the same demographic.
Okay. Rajel, over to you.
Okay, so this one, again, I was firstly thinking, maybe I shouldn't go typical, but I might have to because it looks like a blatant shoujo. Like, it just gives me that vibes. So I'm hoping that's right.
I'm sorry, guys. This is actually
Wow.
a shonen.
The shonen.
It's a shonen.
Yes.
Big gas.
Yes.
What's the
yes.
synopsis? What's the synopsis?
So, I've only got one line, but it basically, this is because I've read this series. It's basically about two characters, Chiyuki Fujito and Ikuto. It's their journeys as they explore the world of fashion. Chiyuki as a model and Ikuto as a fashion designer.
That's a
Okay.
unique shonen right there. I respect it.
It sounds good though, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and Ed, just to clarify, Act Age is actually a shonen as well. So,
I knew it was the same vibe. I just knew it. I could
see?
tell.
All right, next one. Ooh. Tokyo Ghoul. Ed, we go to you.
Saying
Okay. And Rajal?
Yeah, that's a seinen. That one I knew.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct.
Let's go. Let's go. You see that?
Yeah,
Top five.
We're intellectuals. We're smart here.
I read that.
My vision.
I feel like we're not 2 for 1, but yeah, we got this.
Bro, don't mention the scores.
All right, that's the first one you got correct. Okay, and I think this is the last one.
You got me.
Basara.
Sarah.
Ed, we
That
go
is
to
the
you.
drip.
This is definitely not what I think it is. I think I'll go for Seijin.
A seinen.
Seijin.
Seijin? What's that?
Yeah, that's like the hentai stuff.
No, that's what.
I swear Seijin is hentai stuff.
Is it?
On God, it's hentai stuff. Like the adult, like.
I thought it's the one that's for adult males. I thought that was just like Seijin.
No, that's seinen.
Yeah.
That's seinen. Seijin is the other adult stuff.
But I'm a child of cards. So I don't know that. I'll go say then.
All right then. Rajal?
I will go I'm gonna go cheeky shojo. There's no thought to this. I'm just putting out straws.
I'll do.
Rajal, you are correct. It is a
Look
shoujo.
at that! Look at that! You see, I wasn't. Let me retake what I said. I'm not pulling out straws. That was all intellect. That was all intelligence.
Well done. So, sorry, Ed. The first round goes to Rajal, but don't worry, we've got another one. So,
Respect.
all right, we move on to round 2, and this one should be easy. But so if you get this wrong, I'm not gonna lie. Fruits baskets. What demographic is this? Come on,
Shoujo.
Rajal.
I concur. Shojo.
Yes, that was a layup, you might say.
Big dubs. It was easy.
All right.
Can't miss those.
Of course. Next one is. Ori Mio.
Ooh.
This is supposed to be obvious, isn't it? But nah, I'm not.
I think this is the ones where it's trying to trick you.
Trick me in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no way this is a josei for like all the females. I refuse to believe it. From what I've watched anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show some. It's speaking to me like shoujo. And if I'm wrong, I'll be angry. But I'm gonna go josei instead.
Okay. And Rajal.
Ooh, this one is kind of tough because I know this is kind of like slice of life, and I feel like it's more kind of in tuned to being multi-demographic. But for this one, I have to choose one. I'll just definitely go with josei.
Well, let's see what the answer is.
Let's see.
Shonen,
It
It's a
is a
shonen, I'll be
shonen.
vexed.
It's a shonen.
I'm vexed. Stop it. How?
bro.
Hey,
Ow.
you see?
No, they're lying. I don't
No,
believe that.
it's
I
a
reject
shonen.
that answer.
It's a shonen. Sorry to tell you guys. All
That's
right,
crazy.
next
That's
one.
wild.
Kakaguri, compulsive gambler.
Josei. Actually, Josei. Yeah.
Josei? Okay. Rajal,
Seinen.
seinen. Mm.
Yeah.
I wonder which one it will be.
Shonen, oh, do you know, I was thinking it was a shonen as well, but it's very much darker theme. But you see, this is where you go wrong because you just attach certain,
I feel you. No, I feel
thought
you.
lines to it.
I feel you. Okay. Next one up. Shadow's house.
That looks dark.
That's how they get you.
You know, little cute girls, shadows. Yeah, reminds me of horror. But I'm gonna go. Seinen.
Okay.
I'm gonna go josei.
Ed from Deep. Well done,
Yes, sir.
Ed.
Man, a deep 3.
Well
Yes,
done,
sir.
Ed.
That's
I'm
cold.
proud of you. Because this
That's
is
cold.
a sneaky one as well.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this is the last one, but I might be wrong. Okay, Waterkoi. Love is hard for an otaku.
Josei.
Has to be josei as well. If it's not, I'm vexed.
Yes, sir.
You are both
go.
correct, but I believe
Let's
Ed
go.
got 2, so he has equalized it.
Ed and 7, bro. Let's go.
Man said Ed in 7.
Time for the final round. Okay, and this is Akebi's sailor uniform.
Hmm.
This is getting tense, I can't lie.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go Josei again.
Josei again, okay. Rizal?
I'm gonna go seinen.
Rizal from Deep. Oh my days.
Let's go! I'm different. Prime. Playoff LeBron.
Seinen, bro.
Posting up with a fadeaway. Straight to the hole. I'll draw all the fouls. I'm different.
That was clutch. That was a very clutch moment. Hey,
Thank you.
banana fish. I feel like you should know this one.
I will know if I actually watched it. So
Oh, I love banana fish. It's elite.
this is already unfair, in my opinion, because you're working against me and towards Trusha. I'm joking, but I'll go Seinen.
But it's kind of complex because I know there's a place where I want to put it. But I'm also going to say it's a josei just because of like, it's down that woman. I feel like this is what they love to see. You know what I mean? It's the kind of energy. You know what I mean, Daniel? This is what they like to see.
Oh God, don't tell
Yeah,
me.
sure. Okay.
It's
Shojo.
shojo.
Yes, sir.
I'm surprised. I thought it would be the slightly older young woman, not the younger girl. You know what I mean?
I hear
Because
you.
of the
What is the show, man? I'm confused. What is
bro,
the show?
it's to this day I'm confused because what I thought it was is different from what it was explained to what it was. Do you know what I mean? Like I watched it and I thought it was something different. I was like, okay, I experienced it differently. Then Daniel opened my eyes. He's like, but Joe, but didn't you think these scenes were a bit mad?
What? It's it now. Just to see what you guys are talking about.
And I was like, now I think about it, yeah, it was. But it's an interesting, it's an interesting story, and the characters are cool.
Okay, next one. Chihaya Furu.
Yeah, Furu. See, this is gonna be crazy. Shonen.
Okay, Rochelle.
Hey, I'm being tactical here, shonen. You have to just play the game.
Play the game, yeah? Play the game.
I'm thinking sports anime.
I was playing the wrong game.
It is a josei. Sorry, guys. Alright, and I believe this might be the last one. Kubo won't let me be invisible.
But my mind's telling me something else.
I've decided already what I'm going to put, and I'm just going to go full chest.
Okay.
Joseph.
And I say it's a shonen.
And I say you're both wrong.
Seinen. This show. I don't want it anymore. Why? Oh my days, that's crazy.
And last one. This is actually the last one. One Punch Man. What demographic?
Surely, I'm overthinking it now, aren't I?
I feel like you are, but I feel like you have to with this one.
With this one, I lie. I'm just thinking. I'm not gonna say no.
Okay.
I also believe it's a seinen. I definitely know it's a seinen.
Correct. Well done. But
let's go.
Unfortunately, Rizal got 3 this round, I believe, or 2.
Oh.
So he wins. He wins this round.
I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my mom and dad and everybody that supported me to come to this moment to win this, and I humbly take this reward.
Yeah. Congratulations. Commiserations, Ed.
Appreciate it.
Better luck next
There's never
time.
been a Super Bowl since Grizzlies lost. I'm sorry.
Well, if you poke a bear, you know you get.
Now the Bears are probably saying them because all these things are saying them. Tracy.
I'm finished.
So before we move on to like the other topics on the episode, what do you feel about those demographics that those animes were associated with? Do you feel like that's what you expected, or were you surprised?
I mean, the fact I got how many wrong, I was definitely surprised. But I think low-key, the pictures from what I saw, it was what moved me to different answers. I guess it's just like who we are. We see like a woman or like someone in a school, like a school uniform, and we're like, you know what? This is romance. And we haven't even watched it yet. We don't even know what the detail is. I think the pictures confused me a little bit, so I'm a little bit surprised. Kind of.
No, likewise. Like just face value, it's always hard to get something like that kind of accurate. You know what I mean? Because like you have your own biases and you have your own assumptions based on what you're seeing. You're like, oh, this is closely linked to this, so I'm just gonna take the best educational guess that I can in the moment. But definitely a lot of them are like shocking. Like there's some that are extreme. It's like, how is that a seinen? And it's like it makes me just want to delve into the actual content to see. So I just want to read it and say, oh, that's why. Okay, makes sense. But yeah,
I think definitely agree with both of you, because when I was just putting this together and I'm looking it up, I'm like, what? Why? How is that a seinen? It kind of just showed me the perception of what I think a seinen is, and I think how, I guess, tainted that's been by what other people have been saying, and then what the like general view on how seinen is always supposed to be dark, and then shojo is this type of series, it's like a girly romanticized series, and then shonen is always talking about like boys, and it's always fights. But I think doing this exercise, it was just like really eye-opening, because it shows that like demographic isn't like they're not in, it's not like a fixed box, it's a lot wider, and I think the genre is more important than the demographic when it comes to what a series is gonna be.
No, for sure. Because I think the one that shocked me the most was Banana Fish, because like everything that happened in that series, I was like, how? There's only a few things that I would say, okay, maybe it relate to girls in that age group, but that's only a distinct like fetishization that I know is had by a community. That's the only reason I was able to link that. But the rest of it was like gang violence and like stabbings and prison, and you know what I mean? Obviously there was other like over sexualized stuff between the mandem, but Ed is like, what was Joe watching?
I said the mandem.
bro. If you watch it, but it's
a
but
good
because of how
show.
subtle it's a great show. Because of how subtle it is, it goes over your head. Like it went over my head when I was watching it. But it's I don't know how it fits in the shoujo, but I hear it, but also don't hear it. But you're right, Daniel. Like you can't really demographic. It can be so loose, and genre specific is just something that's more effective.
And then I guess for this point, I just wanted to ask you guys if there's any. Do you know any series that you think get incorrectly labeled? So I know Attack on Titan, people kind of say, "Oh yeah, it's a shonen, but it's a seinen." Do you know that kind of? Have you seen other series get that dual umbrella? You'd say, like, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel like the first one that came that was actually in your list. I don't think One Punch Man should be a seinen. I just think it should be a normal like shonen show. Like in contrast to stuff like darker theme stuff like Berserk, Vinland Saga, Kingdom, Goblin Slayer, stuff in that kind of ilk. Like One Punch Man is just like a little kids show. You know what I mean?
Okay.
True. I think the reason I thought One Punch Man was like saying it a little bit was the violence. Because low-key,
it's not that violent. If you think it's violent, but it's not like it's just like watching Power Rangers on the weekend as a kid.
I think
Do you read the manga as well?
No.
But if you read the manga, then like you see like it is a bit more graphic, I'd say.
Oh, I see.
Because the jokes are there. I think that's what makes One Punch Man really good and the main character. But the way this guy's been dying, I mean, even in the anime, look at how was it the crab guy, crustacean guy, died. The guy's eyes ripped out to his head. I was like, that's what made me think. Like when we're doing the games, like maybe it's seinen. It's shonen, has aspects of it, but I feel like the violence alone might push it up to seinen.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I hear that.
Yeah.
I think the one that I always found tricky is all the slice of life stuff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of them are generally multi demographic kind of, you know what I mean? Because even like my favorite show, March Comes In Like a Lion, I feel like it can hit multiple if you think about it, apart from the wild demographics that have no reason for us to mention, like it hits everyone. It hits the shonen, the shojo, the josei, and some aspects the seinen. But the seinen wouldn't be for like it would be more the psychological like the trauma shown and stuff. That's more the adult men rough scenes. So that most of the slice of life stuff that I even looked at, I was like, bro, you just fit most demographics. Yeah. Unlike the more other series where they're very strict between kind of what they're looking like everything that's in seinen or in shoujai or josei, most of the time they tend to just stay in that category, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think that actually is a good point to segue into what do we actually know about these demographics. So I just figured we could go through each one and then just talk about what do we know, and then I've got like some facts about each demographic, and then we can maybe expand the discussion after I give you them. But I just wanted to get your impressions on, okay, so what do you know about, like, what do you think the shonen demographic is?
Well, the shonen demographic is just a typical action adventure aimed for like the young male audience. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like generally fighting series, like stuff with a lot of actions, a little bit of romance, relaxed in nature, as in there's like a simple kind of theme that is followed throughout the series, where there's like one pronounced call to action, like I'm gonna find this, or my aim is that, or I'm trying to be this, you know what I mean? That kind of like under that kind of subheading, and that's like the main focus, where everything, all the relationships in there and all the fights and stuff is focused about getting to one particular end goal. That's why I think the shonen stuff is kind of mostly.
Yeah, that's that. I think it's just probably a lot of focus on friendship and togetherness. I think
you can't forget about the friendship, man.
A lot of friendship. I think if you see every shonen is still friendship, or try to get someone's friendship, because if you're alone, you're not as good as if you're together. Kind of mentality.
Yeah, and they therefore seem to be more competitive based. Like there's always something that's like you're competing for and against a rival. Yeah? You always have to have a rival. And he's gonna have cool hair, and it's gonna be like, there's also gonna be a best friend that doesn't like you, but you like him or her.
I think you guys hit pretty much most of my points. So yeah, I think we have a good understanding. Just some of the things I had is it's marketed towards adolescent boys aged 12 to 18. You guys covered that. It's actually, I don't know if this is like 100% true, because I did just loosely research these and I'm not too confident on the sources because it was like papers, but it says this is the most popular category in the Japanese market, and that the readership will actually extend beyond the target group. So I I think Rogel was saying about March comes in like a lion. People from all ages and genders, shonen appeals to all of them, because there was actually a survey that showed that female readership in Weekly Shonen Jump was higher than magazines which was targeted towards females. So this shows how shonen is something that kind of appeals to everyone, no matter what gender you are. And like you guys mentioned, normally focuses on action and adventure, but it can extend to different genres like comedy, crime, romance, and slice of life. So yeah, you guys covered that quite well.
I'm not surprised for the more female readers compared to like the other ones, because I feel like shonen is probably the most popular one, like I said. So I think that might affect people watching it as well, because if something is popular, obviously it draws more attention. It's like, even though it's not targeted towards me, if someone keeps like happening on about like One Piece or Naruto, it's like I want to check it out as well and see how good it is.
Yeah, it's definitely the like generic kind of easy one that everybody can access and enjoy. So likewise, I'm definitely not surprised. And if you think about it, it's the one that kind of everybody gets introduced first hand. That's the first. Your initial experience is going to be some sort of shonen, whatever genre that is going to be in. So there's some kind of like familiarity that you have with shonen. You're in touch with it, and throughout your whole life, it's something that you can just go back to.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we can transition into. So what do you guys know about shonen? I guess we all know that. So what about shojo? What do you think about shojo? What do you know about that?
Shojo, for me, might be wrong, but it's normally obviously the kind of opposite of shonen, targeted them to females rather than males, like the same age group, roughly, probably like 10 to 18. Then it's normally more romance and things that appeal in quotes to females. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking that it's more done in the female, with the female gaze in mind. So obviously teenage girls or the age groups feel more in touch with what they're viewing, and I believe, I'm just going to guess, is romantic in nature, stuff about just developing. I think it will probably be slow paced, as in gradually engaging with the reader and the characters in the world, and developing and growing, because I feel like some of these shoujo series just tend to be very lengthy series, like very long series from what I've seen, and which will make sense because it's like more traditional, more laid back, more romantic in nature,
So you guys are correct with the adolescent women and early shoujo manga, because I watched a video on this. I'll probably link in the description about like what shoujo manga is. I think early shoujo series was actually targeted towards quite young girls, and there was a group of female mangaka called the Year 24 who kind of helped to develop the demographic, introducing different genres like science fiction, fantasy, and politics. So that kind of made the demographic of shoujo more complex in terms of the stories that they were telling. And some of the main things that distinguishes a shoujo is that it's obviously published in a shoujo magazine, the art style. So normally you'll see the large eyes and they'll try to convey the emotion through them. And this is actually linked to this painting called the Jojo Ga. I think that's what it's that's what the style has been adapted from. And then those are the main things. Some of the other things I think are a bit more you see in more other series where like you used to see a lot of overlapping panels in shoujo series. That was something that kind of distinguished it in a genre. Now you see that in demographics, sorry. Now you see that in other series in different demographics, but the overlapping panels, if you read Fruits Baskets or You Know the Dawn, you'll notice it where like it's not like the square panels you'll see in like One Piece or Bleach. It's a lot more flexible and free. But now you've got modern series like Witch at Atelier, which shows a lot more flexibility when it's in its paneling. So it kind of shows how the manga as a medium has evolved as well. But I think the main thing from what I was reading is the art style. Like if you look at the eyes of the character, you'll see it's like more detailed compared to a shonen where like the eyes, unless it's like Naruto where like they've got like 12 different eyes. But even then, apart from them, man, like their eyes are not that detailed. But yeah, those are some of the distinguishing features.
I feel like we were off but also on at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys were right.
We're more thinking about the literal like opposite of this being a shoujo. Shoujo, like everything that's the opposite, let me just say. And I forgot about the art style and stuff.
Yeah. I think it's just confirmed Naruto's a shoujo, so
it's a boys love series.
Because they love the boys love stuff. They love those.
Main character is Hinata. Let's go. I think for shoujo, another thing I want to talk about is the kind of, I wouldn't say bad connotation. It's not even bad connotation, but it's like a connotation of like, it's only meant for females. So I think it's a bit, when it comes to popularity, it might not be as big as shonen because of that kind of like, I don't want to read it because it's not meant for me.
I hear that. I always feel like it's one of those where people who are kind of introduced to shoujo series early and have like a broad approach to like what they read are more inclined to continue to do that. But I feel like it's when you're at a certain age, you're like, why am I going to go out of my way to watch or read something shoujo related, a shoujo series or a josei series when there's already loads of content that we have in like certain mediums that we already are kind of interested in, like whether it's that seinen or shonen and stuff like that. So I feel like that's the real kind of like hump between why people eventually just can't be asked to be like, let's try out shoujo, because I know it's definitely going to be good. Because there's so much quality and talent, and I bet the stories are crazy interesting, but it's like it's so out of certain people's comfort zones. It's long, isn't it?
I mean, they watch Pop Girl, no big issue.
If they watch what?
True.
Pop Girl.
Pop Girl.
Yeah, but Pop Girl, right?
Oh, Pop Girl.
Pop Girl.
Oh, okay. okay.
Spies, you won't have this problem, man. You'll be comfortable in your masculinity, man.
It's true, but I feel like that's a different source compared to, I think, Totally Spice and that could not prep you for 18 could not prep you for the josei series, the shoujo series, I mean.
Hey man, you just gotta give it a chance. And I guess before we move on, we can do the last two together. So seinen and josei. Like, what do we know about them?
That's basically like the more mature level of what shonen and shojo is. So the seinen is more target to older males, so probably 18 upwards. Then it's a lot more violent, a lot more is a lot more deeper, so it explores more deeper rooted issues. It can go from depression to a lot of things, a lot more deeper in the. It's not just down to like how cool the action is. There's action there still, but just like there's a lot more encouraged, like strong story to back it up as well. And for the josei, I think I'm not too. This is what I'm really sure about. I'm guessing it's just a lot more mature, a lot more things talked about, that might not be suitable for the younger audience.
They still reading it though.
No one's stopping them.
I'm kind of going to combine both of mine. So with josei and seinen, I just believe they're less like idealized portrayals of both genres. So they're, like Ed said, way more mature. They portray more realistic. With the josei, portrayals of romance and life and relationships, and with the seinen is more realistic, or not even more realistic, but just with the seinen specifically is less idealized, like situations with pain, with trauma, with life experience and stuff like that. And it's just basically it's just shojo and shonen but on crack.
I like that description. On crack. Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. So usually we'll take on more mature themes that you might not see in a shonen or shojo. When I was reading about josei, I think one of the main things I was seeing is that the focus on like sexually explicit content, actually showing them having sex and stuff, because they were trying to like emphasize the authors were trying to like break from the restrictions of shoujo manga, because that was seen for kids, and they wanted to write on more, I guess, diverse range of topics which they felt restricted if they were to do a shoujo series. So you'll commonly see like a lot of josei series, they don't shy away from that stuff. They'll show like life after marriage, marriage. So like if you think of shoujo before marriage, josei can be like seen as after marriage, but not always, but in the romance series, yeah.
I just thought of a mad idea. Do you know what'd be sick? If somebody wrote a story that started off as a shoujo, but as it developed, it turns into a josei, and it kind of grows with the age group of the people they're writing to. That would be crazy.
That'd be wavy.
Same for the shonen and seinen. Like, it's happy-go-lucky. Then you hit that stage, you're adult now. Then just reality hits.
That might be the new formula. That might be the new formula. Hey, we might have to patent that before somebody makes money off of this.
Shonen to seinen, we need that.
Be cold.
Okay, so we looked at each one. What do we know? Now I want to ask you guys, what's your experience? Like, how experienced are you with each demographic? And I can go first on this one, because when I was looking through my list, it turns out that like I haven't really got that much experience, because a lot of the series that I thought were either shoujo or josei were actually seinen, which kind of spun me, because I was like, when I'm reading this series, I'm like, this isn't really something that I would be pictured being marketed towards older men, because I've got series where you've got a married couple dealing with issues such as cheating and divorce, and you've got you got these kind of series, and I'm looking at the demographic and it's saying seinen. I'm just like, what? That's a lie. And then you've got money. you got slice of life series like that Kubo thing. That's literally about this guy who's in school. He's got zero presence, and it's like the girl next to him is always teasing him, and it's just like the banter between those two as they go throughout school. And that's supposed to be targeted towards older males. I'm just like, that's a series. That's a series where that's a shonen, but
The math's not adding up.
you see. So I guess back to the question. My experience is mainly when I'm looking at my thing, usually with a shonen. But the thing is, it's a diverse range, so that's where genre comes into play. And then seinen, and I haven't actually read that many josei and shojo. And usually because the josei manga, they're kind of the least popular, and they're not really that many of them out there, from what I could find anyway. So josei is the one I probably have the least amount of experience with, followed by shojo, and shonen and seinen is what I'm familiar with, but I didn't realize I was familiar with because I didn't know that the series I was reading was actually a seinen.
Yeah, because now I was sure, if you asked me before we started the game, I would probably give you a different answer. But now it's a bit different. Because I think mine's just mostly dominated by shonen, because that's what I started with. And I explored everything. And you know, with the shonen, most of them are like massive long-running animes. So I'm still watching them now or reading them now. Then seinen is coming up there as well, with a lot of big 3 seinens with the vagabond and like Tokyo Ghoul and stuff like that, which moved to me the most. I think that's probably my favorite. But I think the one I'm most familiar with is shonen, and I love my shoujo. But now thinking about it, there might not be even shoujo. It might be just seinen. My idea was just romantic. Automatically, you're shoujo, but from like the little exercise we did at the start, I might just be like, I'm just watching more seinen and more shonen, so I'm not as experienced as I thought with shoujo. Then with josei, I don't think I've read something, or I am reading something, but I don't think, from what I can think of, I think that's my least explored. I think I want to explore it more because some of the series is interesting because it's like deals with more like realistic, like more realistic stuff. I think we're saying it like Vikings, we go out here, there's war, what do you do with war? But I think the josei is like, nah, we're going to work and this bitch hates me.
No, that's just too real. That is too real. I can't be living this life and be stressed, then come read my josei and be stressed.
It's stressed again. But it's interesting, man, because you might relate to it even more than you think, and how the character deals with that situation might be very. So I think that probably has piqued my interest the most out of all of them so far. But I think the one I'm used to is shonen, and my favorite is probably seinen.
Okay. What about you, Rizal?
I would say the one that I probably know the most is Komodo, which is the young kids one. So stuff like Beyblade, Digimon, Pokemon, all that. Realistically, if I think about it, I'd probably spend more time watching those, especially earlier in my kind of introduction to anime. But most likely it's probably going to be the generic shonen stuff, and some shoujo, which might not be shoujo now that I think about it. I have been interested in doing josei stuff, but I think I was kind of put off by the fetishization that these women have with mandem just lip-syncing and that. I was like, you guys love it so much. Like, why do you love it so much? Like, oh, do you know? Let me tell you a story. I was watching a YouTube clip, and there was this guy in Japan, and he was doing his rounds, and he was just vlogging and stuff. And he said he went to what's it called, a comic or manga store. And when man went to the josei section, these women were screwing him. Like, why are you here? This is our section. This is for us. This is what we do. And then my guy was like, how can you even hate on me when I am the main character in your shows? Like, you need me for your enjoyment. That's what he said that with chest, and I was dying. I was like, let him cook. He's not lying. How can you hate? He's on the court. You paid to watch him play on the court and shoot the hoops.
Yeah, but that's what I'm worried about with josei too, though, because I think either way, whatever sexuality, I think if it's too over sexualized, I lose interest. I rather deal with the relationship between both of them than deal with the like the over sexualization of what they do, whether it's a straight couple or not a straight couple. I just don't want over sexualization. If that's that, I might as well just be reading like hentai, which I don't do anyway because it's not for me. I want to focus on the relationship. So I think that's why I'm worried about josei, because like I don't want to go into like start reading something like I don't. 90% of the time is this guy and this girl just making out. Like I don't care about that. I need like give me more. But that's just my judgment because of what people say. Read it, so that's why I want to read it as well. So let's see if there's like it might be one of my favorite mangas of all time comes from the josei demographic. But yeah,
because even I don't really I haven't really read or watched any, but I don't mind like watching or reading boys love series. Like depends how it's done and stuff like that. And it's like with Banana Fish, like I did not know like just how it kind of innocently, it wasn't even innocently done, but just how well done it was. It goes over your head, like I said before. So if it's something like that, like you don't even know what you're watching, you're just watching it and like enjoying the journey with the characters and the story and stuff like that.
I just wanted to say about the josei, because from what I've read, all the josei series I've read have been really good, really mature take on relationships, realistic. So I would recommend. I've got a couple to recommend if you ever need some. And it's not just like, even though it has that element of the, them having sex, it's not like that's not the focus. It's just like it's just showing like that's what couples do when they're adults and stuff. But
that's good. That's a good.
You might have to send me some of those still.
That's what I like to hear. I think that's not the main focus. That's my thing, because I feel like in my head, the idea of why I would like josei is that relationship between people. I think if that's the main focus of like how realistic stuff is, then I'm happy to.
Okay, I just realized because I basically I read, or have been reading. I haven't read in ages, but I think it's basically josei, but it is basically a married couple and their struggle with like learning their sexual life. You know what I mean, and how they kind of grow and develop each other, and I think that kind of counts, isn't it? That's like adult life and stuff.
Is that the one with does he have glasses and the wife has white hair?
Yes, that's the one, G.
Oh, yeah, I read that one. That one's good.
It's elite. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, man, they're out here. I'm not sure if that one is a josei. I think that one is actually one of. You see, that's another one that falls onto the. I think that one's a seinen as well.
Is it? Stop it.
So you see, it's deceiving, and I think we can actually move on to the next point which I have, which is so what I'm trying to ask here is, how important is the demographic to you, and like does it impact whether you want to watch or read a series? And then the second point is which I think will be a bigger discussion, so we'll just look at the importance first and then we can move on. So yeah, just thinking about, do you think the demographic is important to you when you're looking up a show, or is it just a non-factor? It's just something it's just a label.
I think it's a non-factor for me. I think genre plays more towards that than a demographic for me, because most of the time if it just looks good, I don't really say, well, is this a shonen or is it seinen? If it's a josei, I'm not reading it, I'm not watching it, so that doesn't really matter to me. Because I think it's always fun when you finish reading it, or you're reading it, it's like, oh, I thought this was a shonen, but this turned into a seinen. This is really good. Or I thought this was like a romance kind of thing, but it just went dark all of a sudden. This must be a seinen. This must be a josei. So I don't read it like expecting it or taking too much like care of what the demographic is. I think I focus more on genres, because the man don't know my hate for mecha and stuff like that. So I'm not reading the mecha manga. But if it's josei, I'm not going to stop myself from reading it if I already saw and thought it was interesting. Whether it's a trailer I saw on YouTube, or if it's that recommended it to me, I'm going to read it anyway, regardless of what demographic it is.
I think mine is slightly more kind of, I wouldn't say complicated if that's not the right word, but slightly more like I say nuanced in regards to, I don't think either of them matter to me specifically when I'm looking for something to read or watch, but I know that genre has more impact on me deciding, as in due to just like the trend in which the trend of things I've watched and read for my whole life. I'm more inclined to be in a place or in a forum or in a conversation where it's more likely that anime in that specific demographic will come up more, more likely than other series will come up. You know what I mean? And that's where I would say it's more due to the underlying biases in kind of communities that you engage with due to their likes and what you're familiar with. But also I have someone like Daniel who is very rangy and diverse with his what he watches and reads, so I'm always inspired then to pick up something else and read something else or watch something else. So in that case I'm kind of lucky, because it really means that those two impact me less, because I'll just be pushed towards engaging in something that is kind of different from my usual.
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of align with you guys. It's not really something I look for. It's not really, or it's not the deciding factor on whether I read something. Like nowadays, when I'm trying to pick a series, maybe I'll just be like, oh, I'm in the mood to try a josei, but it's not really like, oh, I'm reading it because it's a josei. It's just like I want to try a different style of see something that's targeted to a different, not even like a different demographic, but I know it's going to be a different story than if it's a shonen. So I know like, okay, yeah, let me see what this is about. But it's not really, it will never be the deciding factor, because it's always going to be what the story's about. And then like if it's going to be a romance or an action. And so this kind of links to one of my other points, which was like, what do we value, genre or demographic? I think most of us here think genre is way more important than the demographic, because that's kind of going to be what's the style of story. Like Ed was mentioning, if it's a mecha, you're going to do 10 toes, he's running away. But yeah, like,
I'm already so what's the point? Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's a flesh mecha. Yeah, flesh mecha. I hear you.
That's a flesh mecha. Different. There needs to be a romantic mecha. 2 robots in that.
There might be, you know.
We don't really watch it much, so they might be out there. People in the comments screaming, watch this instead. It's a great romantic mecha.
It's been out here. We've been here out here, shining romantically in the mecha world.
I will say like because I used to be like strongly anti-mecha. I'm not as strong because I was anti-Gundam to be specific, because like I was just like, nah, it's not moving me. But I've watched like a couple more series and I'm not too strongly against it as I was before. But like I'm saying, like it just depends on the genre for me, I think, more than the demographic. Because there's certain genres, like I'm not gonna do horror. Like these guys can recommend me the best horror
I'd
series,
be eating the horror,
and I will just be like, I'm running away. I can't do it. I don't like being scared.
Do you know what just deeped? You're just speaking for Mandem who grew up on on Power Rangers. Why don't we like mecha?
it's actually true.
Hey, you're talking
It
too
doesn't
much.
make sense.
I'm not liking mecha. I need to get into mecha, and maybe I think it's just I'm just judging it too hard. I've watched like 3 bad mechas, but I didn't enjoy it, and it's like, yeah.
Which ones did you watch, by the way?
I forget immediately. I can't remember, but
He deleted it from his mind. He said, I hate it so much. God.
at the same time, like, isn't like one of the best animes out there, mecha? Code Geass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of the most like touted ones.
Well, yeah. So I haven't watched that yet. I think I've watched like 3 episodes. So
You haven't watched Code
either.
Geass?
I haven't watched it either.
What? Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Seriously? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
I've
That's a
watched
surprise.
3 episodes. But I don't know. I don't hate it, but I haven't completed it yet, so I haven't quite. I was watching it.
Let me tell
But
you
yeah,
a story. When I was watching that show, I had to take a 2 to 3 week break because of what happened. It emotionally damaged me so hard that I had to take a break and I couldn't even watch the following episode. I had to skip it because of the damage I knew it would do to my well-being.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't been spoiled for Code Geass. I just like scroll, skip every time I watch it because I feel I still need to watch it, but I haven't been spoiled for that, which is crazy. Because I know there's like some kind of crazy kind of plot twist or something unexpected going on, but I don't know what it is yet. So,
I think spoilers only work when you want to watch something and you're interested and you don't want to be spoiled.
yeah.
As soon as you are, it's not in the forefront of your mind and you're not thinking, I need to see the series, nothing will come up, you'll be fine. Because likewise, I have not seen any spoilers for Code Geass. But watch today, as Daniel has inspired new love for this show, and he said she was in trauma for 3 weeks. I'll see everything.
Go to TikTok and the first that comes up is probably Code Geass.
100%.
If you watch it, you'll know. I don't know if you'll be able to clock when it happens. So if you ever do watch it, just let me know because I want to be there.
I think I've watched. There's this girl who's probably one of my most. I hate this girl so much. It's the glasses girl.
Oh, Nina. Oh, the way she violated that table. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So I need to get into it. I like Code Geass. So I think if I complete Code Geass, it might change my out view on like mecha. But there's one thing I will never change my outlook on: ecchi series. If that's not this,
But there might be good ones out there. I haven't read any, but there might be. I know there's something that probably sound legit.
No, but because I thought there was a romance anime. It's called To Love Ru. I think it's called To Love.
Sorry, Ed.
I was scarred. I don't even understand. I thought it was romance because To Love Ru. And that's just probably for ecchi. Any kind of ecchi series that's mainly ecchi, I'm not there, bro.
Yeah,
I swear Killer Kill is ecchi.
It is. Well, it's got ecchi elements, but it's not. I think what Ed's talking about is like when ecchi is like the main thing. Killer Kill's the ecchi thing is part of it. Oh, Prison School. No, that's not good.
Food Wars is kind of. I finished Prison School. I was dying. That was funny.
That's funny. To Love Ru is not funny. That's just the person who wrote that series needs to be arrested. There's some odd stuff going on there. Just what there was like incest, a little bit of pedophilia. I just did not like it, bro. It was weird.
Yo.
Imagine me. I was like, this is another Toradora.
Oh no.
And I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
I'm trying to think of any ecchi related. Glipner is kind of ecchi.
Yeah, that's finished by the way, you know.
Yeah. I'm on like 2 chapters left, but I kind of been saving it because it's bittersweet. I don't want it to end. And there was this mad one I watched. It wasn't even mad. It was the mother of the goddess dormitory, and it was just about some little kid living in a dormitory with bare gal who were way older than him. And
I guess they were horny for him.
Bro, it was weird.
Yep.
And he was very like, no. I said no.
Okay. Yeah. That's the. Yeah.
Kiss Exits. That's a ecchi series.
That's disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
Repeat again.
Kiss Exits.
Oh.
You can tell
his sisters are trying to lips him.
Crazy.
And Monster Matsume.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one's mad as well.
Terrible. So you see how there's no. I tried 3, and nothing. It has no substance, and the main thing is just weird. One's into bestiality. That's Monster Matsume. They don't want incest. And it's basically.
Hey, let's not judge the whole genre. There might be some good ones out there.
It's 3 for 3, bro.
Yeah, you didn't have to take 10 shots.
10 shots. Would I look like Steph Curry? No, bruv. I am not good. Until Daniel says, hey, check this out. I'm not doing it.
I'm finished.
Have you seen Keijo?
No. Oh my god.
That one is jokes, man. But I said...
Is it the butt wrestling?
Yes, that one is funny. Come on, man.
I haven't finished that. I watched the first episode. I didn't know what I expected. I was like, yep.
It's not good, but it's hilarious.
They made a new sport just to But yeah, that's the one I would never. Until Daniel says, you know what, go watch this. But then again, High School DxD is ecchi, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think the Backstreet Girls thing is ecchi. You know the one where the what's it called? The gangsters get turned into women.
Brother, that's comedy. That is so.
But
funny.
it's ecchi. Well, it's funny. It's ecchi there. Oh God, it's ecchi. Yeah.
Apart from like Asobi say, that's the only series that made me laugh out loud. That my parents almost beat my ass because of it.
Girls.
It was
It's too funny.
You get a boob job on your elbow, bruv. Oh my god.
Excuse me?
Hey, Dad, you actually need to. You might have to watch this. Sure, it's too funny. It's only 10 episodes.
I see it's a comedy, but
It's a comedy, man.
That sounds fun.
It's good. Gangsters turning into idols, bro. Hilarious. But let's move on.
Okay. So this is kind of, it's like the last main thing. So it's just a bias point. What do you guys what are certain biases you think are associated with certain demographics? So like one of the points that I had down was in shonen, people usually say that it's got the female characters are poor and they don't do romance well. And for me, that is true in some cases, but in other cases it's not true.
It's hard to argue against the big ones.
Man, like Ed was saying, it sounds about right to me. That's what Ed was thinking.
Especially with the female characters, it's hard to argue. If the big ones are not doing it too well, then people might not see past it. I think there's some other series that like discredit that point. But I think another one for shonen is the always the power of friendship wins all kind of. Especially, and Fairy Tail didn't help with that as well. But the power of friendship for shonen. Some seinen, even though most people like seinen and respect it, but people think it takes itself too seriously sometimes. That'd be a one for seinen. Then for shojo, obviously, like it's only for females and it's not meant for males. So, but josei, that's my least explored one. So I don't know if there's any kind of bad takes on that.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar either. Sorry, Joe.
No worries. I would say with the shoujo stuff, mostly a more submissive kind of men and stuff. People presume that's the case when, you know, the men portrayed as a very submissive or more in the light of the like feminine or female gaze. And with seinen stuff, apart from the fact that there's expectation that it's all going to be gory and, you know, intense in nature, nothing else I can really think about for that category or genre.
Okay. So I just wanted to just kind of, I don't know if it's like debunk or just offer up some examples which I believe, you know, break that trend. So like for the shonen, Rizal, you know, Claymore, that's just elite female characters right there. That's just the
100%.
The picture child for elite female characters. So if you're looking for shonen with good females, then you got them right there. When it comes to romance, I would recommend Cross Game. I think this was posted on the Instagram, but this is a great romance series. It's kind of one of the more subtle ones, but the interactions between the two characters is you kind of see what they're doing, and overall it's just a really good story. So I don't think it's fair to describe all shonen as being bad at romance. And if you're just gonna say battle shonen, then I'll say Twin Star Exorcist. That's a great series that shows that it can do action and a romantic development at the same time and make it good as well. So yeah, those are two that I offer up.
You have to add Horimiya to that list now that I learned that it's a shonen.
Oh yes.
I'm still vexed about that, but Horimiya is actually very elite, and like the romantic comedy is done so well. It's very charming, it's very engaging, the characters. are well portrayed, and it's something that has mass appeal, and there's a lot going for it. So like, I don't mind it being a shonen, because that just kind of, me, I'm thinking it in the light of its mass appeal to multitude of other genres. So people in other genres are very likely to engage well with this series.
What about you, Ed? Do you have any thoughts?
I think for recommendations for like seinens that don't take themselves too seriously or like douse you into depression, I think stuff like Vinland Saga, that's a very, very good seinen. And it basically teaches you to be a good person, man. That's a really good one. And same thing with Tokyo Ghoul. It's time to be serious with Tokyo Ghoul. And there's also times like you just crack up because of the interactions with the characters. Hopefully Tokyo Ghoul gets an anime soon, but yeah.
Hopefully it gets an anime soon. I feel you, Ed. I feel you. I guess we can actually transition to the just final thoughts, which I'm actually surprised we're on good time, very good time.
Yeah.
And I had this written next to as challenge. So what I wanted to, maybe we can do this when we come back next time, if we get the time. Like each of us, we can look out the demographic that we have the least experience in and read at least just one series, and then maybe in the weekly episode or the next podcast episode we can just report back on what we thought about the series, and then just something like that, just like, oh yeah, we don't know about this genre, demographic, and we read this series, and then it just might just be a way to just get us to diversify our reading and watching, So that's a challenge for all of us.
That sounds lit.
You know, josei for all of us, isn't it?
Yeah,
of course. I'm banging out a josei.
We have to make sure we choose like 3 different series.
Yeah.
Or we could read all the same one, and then like that way we can talk about it.
Oh, that's very good.
True.
Fun. Yeah, that sounds like
have a josei discussion episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's lit.
Okay. So I guess you guys can just Ed, just let me know what your final comments are. Like, I guess, what's your perspective now on demographics now that we've kind of talked about it a bit more? We had that exercise at the start where we kind of got spun and kind of expanded upon some of the different aspects.
I think I'm gonna pay a lot more attention to the demographic now when I'm watching stuff and reading stuff. I think just because of how like the Horimiya one spun me as well a lot. So I think I'm gonna look like, okay, what demographic is this? Just in case I find out like I'm really enjoying like a josei series. I'm like, oh, it was josei the whole time. So I think due to this episode, I'm gonna pay more attention to the demographics and also explore the demographics I don't think I explore enough, which is basically shojo and josei. I know there's good ones out there, so yeah, it's just to pay more attention, really.
Unusual.
Well, all I know is these men are making things up. That's all what I've learned today, because some of these don't make sense and they still don't add up. And yes, I'm gonna just go along with it and pretend, oh yeah, I'm surprised it's there, let it be there, it makes sense if I think about it this way. But in my heart, I know the truth. You man just woke up and said, you know what, how is this gonna sell in what region? And let me just place it there so you can put it in a certain section or category. I know what you're doing, you think you're slick. Some of you man are not shonens. Don't lie to yourself. Stop acting. Stop dressing up. You're not shonens. Go to your rightful place.
Those jokes.
But in general, it's like similar to Ed, just kind of a new focus on understanding what I'm reading, because like we get so used to just being fast paced, pick something up, read it, and you're not really ascribing or attaching any kind of category or genre to it. You're just reading as just a piece of that content or entertainment. But I think it's definitely kind of important, especially when you have limited time, just to be able to understand the different categories and be able to know that, oh, this this is what's most likely going to hit in these categories, and I'm going to enjoy these aspects of this series. And I think it makes it easier for someone like me not to overlap in what they're reading, because generally I realize sometimes I be reading and I'm like, everything I'm reading is the same thing, and I'm just vexed. Like, I'll actually be angry. I'll be like, nah, and you know what I mean? I'll be like, nah, this chapter is, I just read you. I read you in a different manga. Don't get me angry now. So I think this is definitely, if I concentrate more on this, I can really diversify what I'm reading, so I can have a more enjoyable experience when I'm interchanging between series.
You love to see it. Were you gonna say something good?
I was going to say, I know which demographic I'm going to enjoy. Well, I'm going to avoid, rather, sorry. Any demographic that makes me go through the school life, going to school trip, and doing the...
What's a culture festival?
Any demographic go through that over and over again. I don't want to do it. There's some good ones, don't get me there, but I've seen so many people going to a snowy place in Haikuju or somewhere to snow. They come back and dress in maid outfits and going to a scary place to scare. No, I don't want it anymore, man.
I'm finished.
Go to university and be serious with your work. That's what I want.
You have to hit up the josei.
That's what I said. That's why I'm excited for exploring it.
Those are some good comments, guys. I guess just for me, kind of just breaking out of the preconceived notions, trying to be more flexible, not letting things bother me, and at the end of the day, not getting too bogged down in demographics and not being afraid that you're not reading enough different stuff because you're not reading X amount of josei, X amount of shojo, blah blah blah. Because I know I read a diverse amount of series, so for me, it don't matter to me that it's all classified as seinen, because like the same seinen that is looking at girls in guys in a school is the same seinen that's dealing with two people in marriage having issues, and it's the same seinen looking at a murder thriller series with a husband who's trying to protect his family. So it just shows like demographic is more influence than genre. It don't matter, and you should just enjoy what you read. Just have fun. At the end of the day, no one's trying to press you.
Yeah, I have you on that because especially with the shonen, I feel like people like shonen get bullied a little bit, especially by the seinen people, because they're like, oh, the seinen is so much better. It doesn't matter how highly praised one is compared to the other one. Even enjoy it, read it if that's what's for you. If josei is your series, that's what you like, that's your demographic, enjoy it to the fullest. Explore a little bit, but enjoy it to the fullest. Don't make anyone make you feel bad because what you like is Naruto. It's fine. Enjoy it. Enjoy the series. Go watch more shonen. I would advise you to like explore demographics, but if that's what you want to stick to, there's nothing wrong with that too. There's nothing.
Yeah, for real. I think people have to lose their kind of superiority complex
100%.
and thinking that this kind of genre or demographic is superior just because it sells more or it's more well known. It really doesn't matter, because like both of you guys illustrated, it's all about how much the individual is kind of enjoying the story, enjoying the series, enjoying and growing with the characters, because at the end of the day, that's the original only intention of these writers. When they were writing and they imagined the characters and imagined the stories and were putting down on a paper, they weren't thinking about fitting a category. They were thinking about developing and putting something they love onto paper and like breathing life into the storylines and characters for us to enjoy. So at the end of the day, bro, just forget about like what it's called and what genre it is. Just read and be happy.
Yeah, man. That's a
Yes,
nice
sir.
point. Nice point to end off on. So yeah, that was episode 30 of the AK Mindset podcast. Is to 30 more and 30 more
Yes,
after
sir.
that. As always, follow us on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Be subscribing. We're trying to do 100 subscribers, so we only need 6 more. So Please
So,
share.
Rich, 100 subscribers. Let's go.
Yes,
Run it up, run it up.
run it up indeed. And I'm just trying to think if there's any other things. For future episodes, if you guys want to hear guests, you can throw us your suggestions. You know, we have people that we know, but we're always open to new people. So yeah, and also topics for new episodes. If you want to hear us talk about something, let us know. And we've got the Blue Lock series that Ed and Rajal are doing, the AK Watch that we're also doing, and the weekly series. So even though, you know, the podcast episode is not as frequent, you're gonna be hearing from us from all different angles, so don't be sad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't miss us too much. Every week, it's something coming for you.
Always something, man. There's always something.
But yeah, I guess we'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you drink your water and get enough sleep. Peace.
Later.
Pieces.